Hello and welcome into the Knicks-Verse. My name is George, and if this is your first time here or you've been here before, subscribe. Turn on the notification bell as well. And if you could hit the thumbs up button for me and share the video, that would also be great. If you enjoy it. And drop your comments. Definitely want to hear your thoughts and feelings about anything Knicks. And especially this game. The Knicks just advanced in the NBA Cup for the third straight year, mind you. Third straight year. And they did it over the Milwaukee Bucks, a team that they suffered a very frustrating loss to earlier this season. So they got the revenge there. But let me tell you, it came with some tremendous all-around play, some excellent defense by the Knicks at times. It got off to a rocky start on the perimeter. They allowed the Milwaukee Bucks to get super hot. We'll get into it. We're going to break this thing down. Let's get into it right now. 118 to 109. Beautiful. And this was the first game that Giannis played in 11 days. So he made an effort to come back in time to play the Knicks on the MSG court, and he was quite dominant, like he usually is. 30 points in 28 minutes, 10 of 14 from the field, 10 of 14 from the free throw line as well, to go along with his 13 rebounds and 8 assists. The man is just an unbelievable player. Truly an unbelievable player. When he's playing, when he's on the Bucks are one of the best scoring teams in the NBA. Without him, they are like one of the worst. It's like night and day. It's like night and day. And they just don't. The rest of the roster, a little problematic, which I'm sure he's a little disillusioned by at this point. I'm sure he realizes by now this team isn't really going to go anywhere unless they make some trades before February 5th. And I don't even know how they can do that. I think they're kind of stuck right now. But you never know. Teams can get creative. But Giannis himself may end up asking for that trade himself, for him to get traded. And we know the team that he's looking at, the Knicks, which is why I think he wanted to make sure he came back in time to play against the Knicks tonight. And he really didn't show any rust at all. He looked fabulous. He did miss his 2 3-point attempts. That's really pretty much the only eyesore. He committed 3 turnovers. And shout out to Josh Hart, who got him as his defensive assignment for large parts of the game. And he did a very good job. He got burned a lot, obviously. 30 points, Giannis shot 71%. But there were definitely possessions where Hart impacted him, forced him to give up the ball, commit some turnovers. So shout out to him, and he turned out to be the defensive player of the game, according to Mike Brown. We're going to get into that as well, but let me tell you something. This is nice. Knicks advanced to the elimination round for the third straight year, and we are matched up against. Actually, let's go to this. We are matched up, I believe, right here, according to Brett Siegel. Group A, Raptors. Group B, Magic. Group C, Knicks. And then the East wild card was Miami Heat. So in the first round, or the next round, should we say, of this, it's the Magic will host the Heat and the Raptors will host the Knicks. So the Knicks are going to play RJ and IQ, the Raptors. I highly doubt OG will be back in time for that, but wouldn't that be cool? Actually, I think we're going to hear an update on OG's status this weekend, and it's actually exactly 2 weeks since he got hurt. So I believe tomorrow or Sunday we're going to hear something about OG's status. Hopefully it's really good news. Let's hope that it is. But at this point, and the Knicks ironically play the Raptors on Sunday. So it's going to be interesting. We play them 2 games. There won't be 2 games in a row. I'm not sure when this other game will be scheduled with the NBA Cup, but heck, let's do it. Let's run the table with them. Let's beat them both times. But we definitely want to keep this momentum going right now and win on Sunday, because right now the Knicks finally are in a little bit of a groove. They've won 3 in a row. They're in 4th place in the Eastern Conference with a 12-6 record, just a half game behind the Miami Heat, and they are a game and a half behind the Raptors. So we get a win on Sunday. Boom, we close the gap. We can get back into maybe 2nd place. And what's nice is we won't get into 2nd place if we win on Sunday, but we'll be on our way to. the Pistons, who were looking like invincible recently, they've just dropped 2 games in a row. They lost to the Magic tonight, which is why the Magic advanced in the NBA Cup. So the Pistons are now 15-4. They're on a little 2-game losing streak. The Hawks won. They're 12-8. Cleveland lost. They've lost the last 2. They're 12-8 as well to tie the Magic, but I think they must have the tiebreaker or something here. So that's the way the East is shaping up right now. The Bucks are out of it right here, 8-12. Wow. All right, let's get back. I tweeted this out right after the end of the game. Big win for Knicks, 118-109 over the Bucks, with Giannis to advance to the elimination round of the NBA Cup. Huge games from Brunson, 37 points, Hart 19, and Deuce 19. Some tremendous defense late in fourth quarter by Hart on Giannis. Definitely was some great defense on him, especially out on the perimeter, where he forced Giannis. I think he actually forced Giannis into a turnover or just into a poor possession, which ended up being a turnover for the Knicks. Some really great defense out on the perimeter. He got beat down on the right block. You know, Giannis with his spin moves, he's just, it's just really difficult to handle. But considering the size disparity between the two, Josh Hart did a fantastic job. And really, we didn't have anyone else to put on him because Yabusele, he was gonna get eaten alive, and that's it. I mean, we could have gone deeper into the bench, maybe Hawk Porty, but Coach Brown chose not to do that. When Mitch was out there during a stretch there, he had some effective minutes. Mitch actually had a pretty good game today, pretty good game as well. But nobody like this guy. He caught fire. Was it in the second quarter or in the third quarter? He started beasting. I think it was in the second quarter. It was tremendous. He hit 12 of 21 field goal attempts. He shot, let's see, here we go. 37 points, 5 assists, 1 steal. He also played some decent defense. Then, there were definitely times where he got caught out of position. He hit 9 of 10 from the free throw line, 4 of 6, the deep ball. And Deuce McBride, 5 of 7 from the deep. Oof, but look at Brunson, 12 of 21. And, man, there were some moves there. He was able to turn the corner on Rollins Kuzma and Turner. They put Kuzma on him for long stretches of the game, and they started doubling him. Because there was a period in this game where Brunson could get anything he wanted in the mid-range, and he was hitting it, burying him left and right. He was punishing the Bucks' defensive approach on him. Where was that? I had it highlighted here. He was just cooking. It was in the third quarter is where he really caught fire. He already had like 22 points in the game by halfway through that third quarter. And the Knicks were up 78-75 at the time. Some good D by Josh Hart on Rollins there to force a turnover. There really was surprisingly some. This game had a bit of a playoff type vibe, and that's the beauty of that's the hope that Adam Silver had with creating the NBA Cup. You could feel it. It was the last night of the group play of NBA Cup. There were a lot of teams fighting to advance, a lot of decision-making games. So it wasn't like most of the games today were not meaningless. They all had a lot of meaning behind them in terms of advancing. So that is a big win for the NBA. And Brunson just, once again, he started punishing him, and then they started doubling on him. And it was a little difficult for him too because they put a couple tall guys on him like Giannis and Kuzma. Bobby Portis a little bit at one point, but Rollins, he's got some good length and he's a really active defender. Rollins and Kuzma would double him, and he found it a little difficult to try and find an open guy. But then there was this moment there, the stretch, where Josh Hart would drop down into the paint and Brunson would find him with a bounce pass and like around on the nail, and Hart would start spreading that ball out, and the Knicks started, Deuce hit a 3 off of that. They started feasting there, so they were punishing him in that way. So he got doubled, they punished him. They didn't double him, he punished them. It was a beautiful stretch of play for the New York Knicks, and they ended up by the end of the third quarter, 92-88 after being down early in this game. And then they went into the half down as well, but they took the lead in that third quarter. And they never gave the lead back, but it got a little tight. Got a little tight in that fourth quarter. But this man, truly, we're just really lucky to have him as our point guard on this team. Phenomenal. It's almost like it's easy to take it for granted. It's easy to take it for granted because of how good he is. You know, like if anybody else did what he did tonight, they would be writing articles about it for weeks. You know, like it just the way it is. Like now we just become accustomed to his greatness, which we can't. We got to keep honoring his greatness. To further that, look at this. His last 7 games. 37 points tonight, 33 the previous game, 27 against Brooklyn, 33 against Orlando, which was a loss, 28 against Dallas, a nice victory against his former squad, 31 against Orlando, which was also a loss. Those 2 losses to Orlando, really, it's like a big thorn in the side right now. I would love for the Knicks to be able to beat the Raptors and face the Magic in the next round of the NBA Cup and beat them to get to the finals. I think that's the way it would work. That would be fabulous. And then you go back all the way to November 11th against the Grizzlies, a 32-point burger right there. Like, I mean, look at this guy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 30-point games in the last 7 games. Unbelievable. And then this man. And you guys know, you've been watching this channel. I've had a big problem with the way he was playing. He was playing terrible. And I said, if he continues playing this way, I can't see how he stays on this team. Well, I don't know what happened, but he woke up and he's had 3 very good games. And then tonight he actually had a very, very good game. 19 points for him, 15 rebounds, 7 assists, 3 steals. Not that efficient necessarily, shot 41%. 5 of 12, missed all 4 of his 3-pointers, played almost 40 minutes, but he was 9 of 10 from the free throw line, and he collected 3 steals. Yeah, it says right there, and the 7 assists. So, he gave you that Josh Hart energy. So you're going to get some negative play from him, some bad passes in the fourth quarter there when, the Knicks were holding on to the lead, and they finally built a little cushion. They come down to get a stop on one end, and they work really hard to get a stop on one end and go over on the other side, and he just throws the ball right to Ryan Reynolds' hands. But when he's giving you the incredible productive minutes and the defense like he was giving tonight, you can live with that. It's just when you're not getting that on one end and you're only getting the negative stuff, it's really hard, especially at his size. But that's just the role he's been put in by Coach Brown. So at this point, he's thriving, and tonight he got the defensive player of the game. Totally deserves it. Very happy for him. He was the team high, plus 15 tonight. Plus 15. And then here Ian Begley tweeted this out. Josh Hart gets defensive player of the game. Mike Brown says. Also cites Karl Anthony Towns' late offensive rebound and corralling jump ball as key to Knicks win. What he's referring to, there was a moment there in the game, late in the fourth quarter, because the Bucks had made a big run. The Bucks made a run. The Knicks got off to the fourth quarter on a nice start. 9-0 run to build a 101-88 lead. And he even got like 2 back-to-back threes from DEUCE. I think one of them was off a Josh Hart assist, and maybe even the Kolek 3. Then Kolek hit a 3. But then Doc calls a timeout. Bucks come in with some size, and then Brown leaves Mitch out there as the only player taller than 6'6". That's it. Mikal Bridges was the next tallest player on the court. And while Giannis, Kuzma, and Portis were out there, that was a way too small a lineup, and Milwaukee went on a 12-3 run. I think Clarkson was on the court then. I can't remember exactly the line, but I remember Mikal was the next tallest guy. The Knicks were starting to freeze up. They got off to a nice 3. They made 3 out of 4 to start the fourth quarter, but then didn't hit. They went 1 for 11 for the next stretch, and the Bucks got right back in this game when it was 104 to 100 with about 6 minutes left. And then, of course, Deuce McBride hits another rally-killing 3. He did it 3 times tonight. 3 times Deuce did it. Fabulous. And then, look over here. Mike Brown shouts out Defensive Player of the Game, Josh Hart, and Karl-Anthony Towns, because I haven't talked about Karl tonight. He did not have a good game offensively, but he definitely made some interesting plays late in this game to help the Knicks secure the victory. On Hart, quote, Giannis is a tough cover for anybody, especially when you're giving up 6 to 7 inches or whatever John is giving up. He fought all night. Totally. And then on Towns, Mike Brown said, I thought the 2 biggest plays of the game were Cat's offensive rebound late in the game. It was going to be a 1-possession game if they got that, but he gets the offensive rebound. I think it puts us up by 4. But more importantly than that, he stole the jump ball. There was a jump ball play where there was a play. Josh Hart went up to get a defensive rebound on a Milwaukee miss, and Giannis he just muscled. Hart had the rebound for like a half second, and Giannis just muscled the ball away from him, and then he kind of fell to the ground. And then Hart kind of corralled it for a jump ball. And then they going to put everybody, it was Giannis and Hart for the jump ball on the Milwaukee's offensive end. So this could have been a major momentum swing. And it was Rollins fighting for position with, I can't remember who it was. It could have been Brunson or whatever. I can't remember who it was. But then Cat was off to the right. Now, there is a rule where a player cannot cross through the circle of the free throw line circle. You cannot cross through it to get the toss. But what Cat did is he actually went around it. He snuck through and he stole the jump ball. Giannis had won it and was trying to hit it to Rollins, but Cat stepped right in front of Rollins, took it, and that was a huge play. And that play actually is what secured the victory for the Knicks. So, and it's good for Mike Brown to shout him out because, look, Cat had a tough game tonight. He played about 36 minutes. He was only 2 of 8. He only took 2 3-pointers. He took none in the first half. He hit 1 of 2. Got to the free throw lines only 5 times. But he had 10 rebounds, which is nice. 9 points for him. Committed 2 turnovers. Did get a block. But the 4 assists, he made some nice passes. He definitely made some nice passes. He buried the first 3 right to begin the second half, which was a nice breather for the Knicks. And the Knicks immediately took the lead because they were down. It was 62 to 61. So the Knicks immediately took the lead. But then it was a little seesaw back and forth. Then Green hits a contested 3, but Deuce responds for the Knicks right away. He buries the 3. Then Josh Hart gets a great offensive rebound, and he passes it to a cutting Mikal for a layup. And New York takes the lead right there, 74-72. Brunson, like I said, he started heating up, and then the Knicks were able to close the third quarter strongly. The Knicks actually closed, I think, basically every quarter tonight in a positive positive points in the last, whatever it was, you want to count it, like the last 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 4 minutes. The Knicks closed quarters well tonight. They even had a nice 10-0 run towards the very end of the game itself, right before Giannis made a little dunk at the end, and that was pretty it. So the Knicks went on a nice 10-0 run to secure this victory. They had a nice run to close the half, as I mentioned, 21 to 12, to get themselves back into this game after being down 10. Even though Towns was a minus 13 at the half, he was able to recover, and he finishes even. So that means when he was on the court in the second half, the Knicks were plus 13, so fabulous for him. Good. The Knicks had a very difficult shooting night in general from the field. 38 of 84. They shot 45.2%. Not fabulous, especially when you look at what I mentioned. Towns 2 of 8. He only shot 25%. And then Jordan Clarkson. Difficult game for him tonight. In his 22 minutes, he was 2 of 13. He shot 15%. 0 for 5 from the three-point line. But he had some moments defensively that looked good, but then he did make some turnovers. Actually, he only is credited for one bad turnover here. But look, he ends up a +9 in the plus minus. So there you go. Finishes with 6 points. It's when you make your free throws. Now the free throws. The Knicks go to the free throw line. Let's go check this out here. Here we go. So the Knicks. Oh yeah, let's go back here. The Knicks go to the free throw line 33 times and connect on 28 of them. They shot almost 85% from free throw line. You look at the Bucks, they went only 25 times and only connected on 17 of them, 68%. So that ends up being the difference in this game right there. The free throw shooting, the actual free throw shooting. The Knicks connected on they got an additional plus 11 points from the free throw line. However, it really comes down to the second chance points. Look at the Knicks, the hustle, the aggression that the Knicks showed tonight this was the actual real difference in the game. The Knicks got 22 second chance points compared to Milwaukee only getting 5. That's a plus 17. Fabulous right there, and that is the true difference in the game, especially considering how Milwaukee got off to a blazing hot start in that first quarter. Should go over here. In the first quarter, Milwaukee was shooting 9 of 13 from the three-point line. It's almost 70%. They were on fire, but the Knicks made some adjustments. They were picking up the shooters further out onto the three-point line. They were close if they weren't, and then they were closing even harder on three-point shooters than they were in that first quarter. And look at this. They only went 3 of 9 in the second quarter, and then 3 of 10 in the third quarter, and only 3 of 9 in the fourth quarter. So the Knicks, after letting them get off to a blazing hot start, held the Milwaukee Bucks to like 32% from the three-point line for the rest of the game. That helps. That helps to win games because look, the Knicks only shot 33% overall in the fourth quarter. Were able to hang on because they went through that 1-11 drought, which was it's the one thing about this game when I was watching it, I never thought the Knicks were going to lose this game. Even when the Knicks got down by 10, I was like, you know what? A nice, good run, and the Knicks are going to take this game from them. And it's basically how it played out. So this was really a tremendous – this is a great win. This is a great win for the Knicks. The Bucks, with Giannis, are a tough team to beat, especially when they are desperate. They had lost 6 in a row. They did not want to lose their 7th in a row. And Giannis definitely doesn't want – he hates losing. So this was a tough team to beat tonight, and the Knicks took care of business. I love the way they approached it. Even on a night when Kyle Kuzma was having a monster game himself. Kuzma actually at one point had not missed a shot until very late. I don't think you can see it here. Let's go to here. Yeah, he was – what did he shoot? Kuzma shot almost 89%. He shot 8 of 9 from the field, 4 of 5 from the three-point line. I felt that it was even more. He finished with 20 points himself. He was the second high man for the Bucks. He was cooking the Knicks left and right. And often Brunson would end up on him, and he could just shoot right over Brunson. So the Bucks were doing a good job of forcing those switches that were favorable to them. But in the end, the Knicks were able to overcome all of that. Even AJ Green shooting 50% from 3, 6 of 12. He got off to a blazing hot start, but he also cooled off, actually, if I remember correctly. Yeah, he was 4 of 5 in the first quarter, so that means he was only 2 of 7 for the rest of the game. That's how you win. That's how you win. Beautiful. All right, let's look over here. Any things we may have overlooked here? Of course, the rebounding. The Knicks won that battle, 44-35. Their offensive rebound. That's the second chance points all are fed by offensive rebounds. The Knicks dominated there, 14-5. Beautiful. The assists, 25 assists for the Knicks, 24 for the Bucks. That was a big disparity in the first half. The Knicks caught up there. The steals. Once again, the Knicks have been doing a great job of creating turnovers through steals. 10 for them in this game, 9 for the Bucks, 2 blocks for the Knicks, 4 for the Bucks. The turnovers, Knicks were stingy with the ball, only turned the ball over 13 times. The Bucks were pretty stingy as well. 15 is not, it's not terrible, but they gave up 18 points off of those turnovers. We only gave up 15, so we ended up with +3 there. The fast break points, Knicks won that battle 15-11, and then against a Giannis team, the Knicks won the points in the paint battle tonight, 40-36. Fabulous. And they kept the fouls to a minimum. That's how they were able to win the free throw battle. But let me tell you this. That first quarter could have been really ugly. That first quarter could have been nasty. They shoot 65% from the field. They shoot nearly 67%, nearly 70%, from the three-point line on 13 attempts. I mean, they connected on 9 three-pointers in that first quarter. This could have been a blowout, but the Knicks hit all 14 of their 14 free throw attempts, and that's what kept them in the game. And then things started clicking for the Knicks in the second quarter, and they carried it through for the rest of the game. Mitch was a big reason of it. When there were 2 feeds to Mitch for 2 buckets at one point in that second quarter, and when the Knicks answered back from Milwaukee, went on an 8-0 run, and then Cat sat, and Knicks felt like they were, again, went a little too small, but this time, instead of allowing a 13-2 run by Milwaukee, it turned out to be the other way. Mitch got 3 buckets in a row right around the basket, and then he got an offensive rebound, and he passed it out to Brunson, who Brunson hit the three-pointer, and the Knicks were able to cut that deficit down to 57-54, and they were just feasting on those second-chance points during that second quarter. And then Cat subs in for Mitch, and the score was 57-56, but then McCall hits a big 3 off a Cat assist, which ties the game, 59-all, and then McCall comes in for a beautiful teardrop, 61-59, which you're like, okay, we're going to close up. But then on the last possession, Cat gives Kuzma way too much space at the top of the three-point line, and he buries the 3 to end the half, 62-61. All that, you would have thought, oh, that kind of saps the momentum. But then Cat came out early to start the second half and buries his 3. So it just kept that good flow that the Knicks built to close that second quarter on a 21-12 run, continued, and the Knicks were able to ride that wave even when they got freezing cold in the fourth quarter. So this is a good mark. This is a mark of a good team, that it could weather these hot and cold periods, or the cold periods. And yeah, beautiful. Weather the hot periods of your opponent and weather your own cold periods. Fabulous. I love that. That really gives me a lot of hope about this team moving forward. And we're doing this without OG Anunoby and Landry Shamet, who was seen on the bench. He was seen on the bench tonight. He didn't have a sling or anything, just there. So that's a good sign. Let's hope that he can return. Actually, we did get some update that he's going to be evaluated in 4 weeks. I think that was, when was that? It was the other day we got that update. All right. Hey, if you want to support the Knicks-Verse, join the channel down below. The button's down below right there. You can join the channel. It'd be great. You get the members-only halftime reports, which is fabulous. Also, priority comments when I go live, which I will be going live at some point this weekend. Discounts on merchandise. And if you want to just check out the merchandise store, check it out. Actually, we'll be dropping a discount tomorrow, so pay attention for that. There'll be a nice discount for the holidays. You guys can load up on your Knicks-Verse gear. And there's some cool stuff, too. I'm going to do it myself. All right. Great win. Knicks are in a great place. Let's hope this momentum continues. I have a feeling it will. I will see you around the Knicks-Verse. Let's go.